And yeah, that's honestly kind of it for President Trump, at least what I'm going to talk about in this video. I kind of want to save a little bit of that for future videos. That's pretty much all you need to know for now. And I'll go and try to go in detail in further videos. But yeah, other than that, actually, no, there is one more thing that I want to talk about President Trump. So and it's really ticking me off because it's confusing as to whether, was it like a little slip in the language, or was it intentional, or what does he mean, or should we believe him, or what's going on, right? This is all crazy. And there have been several instances where he has used the word "we" instead of Israel, which is a little bit concerning because it's making some people think that we're in the war. Of course, I'm not really concerned that much about that. It's probably just because the U.S. is really like in this war, at least like intelligence wise, and helping Israel defend from some of these missiles. But we're really not like physically in this actual war, and the usage of the word "we" as the president has done it, I would speculate, it's probably most likely just a slip, I guess. But of course, some people wonder if it really is, and it's all confusing some people, and it's worrying them a little, because again, as I said, we don't want to get into another war, much less in the Middle East, and just be there for like 10, 20 years. And yeah, it's really concerned some people because the Israeli government is obviously receiving a lot of intel and support from the U.S., but we're not actually in the war, and we don't want to be. And I'm also going to give like my position on what me personally, I would think is okay in terms of like U.S. involvement in this war. And as far as I'm willing to go, and only really if it's like last case scenario, if there's really like no other option, the farthest that I would give like a green flag to, without any criticism or skepticism or any schism, is really just sending in a missile, or the bunker busters. That'd also be fine. But yeah, really sending in like something to destroy that last facility. Of course, I do not want troops deployed in the Middle East, and nobody wants that. I think that like the common, like more popular opinion on this is kind of what I have. Of course, some people don't want involvement at all. Some people want us to send everything we have. And of course, there has to be a balance, like right in between. And me personally, what I would be okay with is obviously like sending something to destroy that last facility, or do something about that without really sending in the military, as in sending in like actual troops. And there have been reports as to like other ways to destroy this facility, but they're not really that effective. They could be done, but they're not preferable. One of the other ways is a tactical nuke, which nobody wants. I don't think the president would actually even approve that, but it's another possible solution to this. Instead of sending a bunker buster, tactical nuke would be a way to deal with that. and it would be the third time that a nuke has been used in history, and the third time that the U.S. has used a nuke, which isn't a really good track record to have, and we really don't want that. Of course, another way that has been like suggested is that Israel could send like special ops into this facility and find a way to destroy it or whatever, which is, I guess, more effective, and I don't know if I would prefer that because it means less American involvement, which is good because it's not our war. I don't want it to be our war. But at the same time, is it really going to work? Is it really that effective? Is it going to, be the thing that actually solves this giant problem? Or is it just going to be a failure and nothing's going to go through and a little more escalation and the Americans are going to have to get involved in this? And yeah, really all I have to say about that is I would prefer the least possible American involvement in this, but I also want us to make our point clear. And yeah, that's really it in terms of like firm points that I want to assess in this video. There is more. There's another one which isn't really a very firm point, but it's as I said earlier. There's people who want to send in the whole military and use nukes and who cares and whatever, screw Iran. And then there's also other people that don't care what happens or what they do, just don't send in the military, don't send anything. And, there's obviously some members of Congress, which I personally think that all members of Congress are rats, and I stand to that opinion very clearly. There's a few things that I hate passionately. I hate with a passion in this world. Two of which are the United States Congress, which is pretty much useless and gets nothing ever done. We never actually get anything done unless it's a majority. Of course, a majority we have now for like the big beautiful bill, and even that might not get through. So at least some aspects of it might not get through. But there's the other thing that I hate, other than the U.S. Congress, and by the Congress I mean the Senate and the House. But if I really had to, I'm not really gonna hit the House that much. It's really just the Senate. But the other thing I really hate is Europe's history. It's chaos. It's a mess. It's colonization and wars and little factions. And I believe I saw this. Yeah, I saw this map. Like I can't even recall when, but just looking at the map gave me a headache, and it showed all these. Like I'm not even kidding. There's probably like 2,000 of them. Probably over 1,000 or 1,000 of these like little. If you look at this in a map, as if you were to look at America on a map with like all the county lines, that's pretty much what I saw in Europe, like on a map. But they were much smaller and much more complex, and I hated that. Just looking at that gave me a headache, and I really, really just did not like that. And yeah, those are two things I really hate. But yeah, it's let's really touch on Congress here. There's the two types that I've described. An example of a dove, not a dove, a hawk, which is the type of like person who really wants to get into this war, is Lindsey Graham. I don't really know the senator that much, in terms of like, obviously I don't know any senator personally, but in like seeing him on the news or whatever. But yeah, what I do know about him is that he's a pretty big war hawk. He really wants escalation in this war from the Americans, and I really don't want that. I do despise that point of view more than the opposite of it, which is the Dubs. And there's, I guess, not really a very clear example as to who I can really point to like pinpoint. And I can't really also pinpoint Trump because he can be on the very far extremes of both of these sides, and at the same time he's also in the middle. So it's really crazy, the president that we have. He does as he sees fit, which is good because he's unpredictable, and that's really what you kind of want in a war case scenario. But yeah, I can't really pinpoint somebody as like a dove, but we can't have that either because we can't just allow them to have a nuclear weapon. Such an unstable and threatening country to the U.S. Of course, Iran. If the U.S. and Iran were in a direct war, they would get demolished. Of course, assuming no strong military aid from Russia, China, or whatever. But yeah, they would just get destroyed. But of course, if they were to get a nuclear weapon and manage to detonate it inside the U.S., God forbid, or Israel, that would be very devastating, and nobody would want that. Nobody wants that, and well, Iran wants that, and probably China, and probably Russia, and probably North Korea. But other than some fascist communist dictators, nobody really wants that in like the free world or around the rest of the world. That would be a very, very big impact to the rest of the world if the U.S. were to like fall or take such a hit. Or Israel, it wouldn't be that big of an impact, of course, but we don't want that either. They're very big strategic allies to the U.S. and I guess also many other countries. But yeah, that's pretty much it I have for this video. Some other things that come to mind, a little more random, but on topic. Some planes that the U.S. I believe sent to Israel to evacuate all like American citizens that wish to leave arrived this morning. Yeah, they arrived this morning at Florida. And sorry, I'm just trying to recall all this information. I don't actually have it written down. So yeah, they arrived in Florida this morning, which is good to have all these people safe. And obviously the if no Americans are harmed, that's a great result, because if I believe the president has said this, but if an American were to actually get harmed, this would actually escalate the war, and I really don't want that to happen. So yeah, that's actually kind of it I have for this. That's all I have for this video. So yeah, if you did like this video, do subscribe and like the video. Share with other people who might be interested. And of course, you might have noticed that throughout the video, the whole this side of my face and this side of the background got darker, and I have some lights coming in the way. So for those of you who actually do watch the video, I will get this fixed. Just give me some time. Hopefully by the next video I post, probably on Tuesday, I might have that fixed. Hopefully I do. But I can't promise anything. So that's pretty much it. And yeah, thank you for watching. See you in the next one.